Okay, so the uses the transformations of the graph f of x equals 2 to the x to graph the function g of x given below. Notice that this g of x is a transformation of the parent function f of x. We're going to have to graph it and give the equation of the asymptote, and then use the graph to determine the domain and range. So first I need to graph it. I'm going to use this little graph over here. In fact, it's kind of too small for me, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to either click here to enlarge the graph, or that plus button. And this is a much nicer size. I can also click medium and make it even bigger. Maximize is a little too big for my taste, but medium's just fine. I know it's an exponential function, so I'm going to come over here and grab the exponential tool. And I always put it here on 0, 1 because I know that points on the graph. Okay, so this is an exponential function. It already gives you just, a random parent function here. Actually, it's not quite all that random. Notice that the base is already 2. The problem pulled the base from the original problem and put it right here. Although, if you ever need to change it, you can just click on the base and change it to something else. And notice that the graph shifted and is now 3 to the x. 0, 1, and 1, 3. Now, that's not the one we really need. I'm going to go back and change it back to 2. And when I click off of it, now we have 0, 1, and 1, 2, which is exactly what we needed. Perfect. So this already is the graph of f of x equals 2 to the x. But I want f of x equals 2 to the x minus 1. So I need to understand that this, in the x minus 1 in the exponent, that's a horizontal shift, 1 to the right. So that's not a vertical shift, but it's a horizontal shift of positive 1. If I wanted to go left 1, I would type negative 1 in that box. Once you click outside of it, it's going to shift everything over 1. The vertical stretch and compress, that's, they call it shrinking. I call it compress. It's the same thing. The vertical stretch and compress would be if there was multiplied a number out in front. The horizontal stretching, we're not actually doing that in this class, so you don't have to worry about it. And then the reflect over x or reflect over y. So these are the buttons that you would click. Great. So you think you're done, right? Except it says graph the function g of x and its asymptote. And I'm going to move this over just a little bit further. It says graph the asymptote with a dashed line. So I've correctly graphed this with a solid line. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come over here and grab the line tool, and I'm going to draw a horizontal line at y equals 0, or the x-axis. So I'm just going to click on 2 points on the x-axis to draw this horizontal line. But notice it says graph of the asymptote as a dashed line, so I'm going to change my line from solid to dashed. And do you see how it kind of made a broken line right there? And then when I save it, does that look like I've graphed the function and its asymptote as a dashed line? It does look like to me, so I'm going to go back here and check my answer. Yay, well done. That's always good news. What is the equation of the horizontal asymptote? Well, we just talked about that. That was y equals 0. Fantastic. I love these adjectives. What is the domain of g of x equals 2 to the x minus 1? So we're talking about the domain of the function that we graphed. We're going to type it in interval notation. It's all real numbers, so I'm going to use that and type negative infinity, comma, infinity, because I can plug any value in there. Good job. And then the last one was the range. Now the range is not quite the same here. The range is going to go from 0 all the way up to infinity. So I can't include 0 because 0 is an asymptote, so I'm going to use 0, comma, infinity. Oops, hello. Let's get all the way over there. Ah, that's better. And then I'm going to check my answer. Fantastic, awesome. So it looks like I have finished all parts. Yeah, I did. So I finished all parts of this exercise, so I hope that helps.